Now, to be truthful, I don't really have problems with people inviting others to the church. In fact, I encourage it since I feel a lot of we need all the churching that we could take. But you need to know who you're inviting to your place of worship. After all, a place of worship should be a place where people come to respect their Maker, and not a place where confusion and bacchanal is potentially just a few seconds away. So that is why I shake my head when Miss Mavis come home by we and invite Granny to she church for Easter service. I was waving and telling she no, but she looking at me and asking me if I okay. Granny simply say, he good. It's just sometimes he does act like he have fits. I stoops. 1 time, 2 times. In fact, I can't even remember how much I stoops, because I keep stooping over and over until I had to do it quietly. Why? I stoops for 2 reasons. First thing, I know Miss Mavis should know better than to ask Granny to come to church. I don't know what she was thinking. Second thing is, if Granny say yes, she would not want to go alone. And who you think she could tell that they have to go? You get that right. She go ask me. So after the invite, I cross my finger, I cross my toe, I cross everything I could have crossed. But of course, that old cross say yes. And as soon as she say yes, the next thing comes from she mouth is, all heaven done know she address. So Miss Mavis look at she and say, well, what you mean by all heaven know the address? Granny go look at Mavis and say that she know some of she church people always like to say they get vision from above and try to trick people into coming to the church. So she ain't want nobody to come and tell she that they get message from above. Because if heaven had any message, they will use Elijah chariot and come straight to she address with it. So she ain't want no backslidious members. Yes, that's the word she used, backslidious. She ain't want no backslidious members from Mavis Church to come and tell she anything when she walk in. I think it was at that point that Mavis starts second guessing her decision to ask Granny to come. But guess what? At that time, it was too late. Now as soon as Mavis leave, Granny go say, guess what she say? You hear we going to church? I didn't hear that, but Granny tell me if I hear we going to church, and she tell me she ain't want no back chat. Because it's long time I go to church, and the way I blight, I need a blessing. Well, 2 weeks pass, and visitors, they come here. I try to get out of it, but Granny no budging. She ain't budging at all. She tell me that she had an appointment with her Maker, and if I didn't want to meet him one way, she go pray and arrange for me to meet him another way. And I need to stop pussyfooting and get she to church on time. Well, I argue, I get ready, but when I see Granny, to tell the truth, I didn't really want to go, If you see the lady, she dressed like Puss in Boots. She have a big red hat. And when I say a big red hat, I ain't exaggerating. You would think it's one of them house and land umbrellas resting on she head. You know them big umbrellas that we call house and land? But that ain't all. I ain't tell she nothing. The lady have fishnet stockings. Fishnet stockings. I know what she doing with that. And she wearing a yellow blouse and a green skirt with it. Now when the lady walk outside, she looking like a traffic light. And she confusing the drivers. They don't even know if to stop or to go. What I say? Nothing. Now when they get to church, they have people who does be by the door to put you at ease. Some call them greeters, others call them ushers. Some say they keep it quiet, so they call them hushers. You know, they just try to make you feel welcome before you get in the building. So one of them come by us and say, "Good morning, how are you today?" Now Granny look at the lady and ask if she's a doctor. She then tell the lady if she was sick, she will go to the hospital and not church, and want to know why she asking how she feeling. Well, I had to smile when the lady tell Granny that church is a hospital for sinners. And she was smart. She left us quick, and went to greet somebody else. As soon as Granny get in the church, she start to mutter to herself. She say, if this is a church, it must really be into the prison ministry, because I seen a set of scamps and undesirables in the premises. Before the lady could get her seat, she start to whisper in my ear. She say, "You see them 8 nucators in the corner?" I look in the corner and I saw a buddy of mine and his wife embracing and smiling. I know Granny don't really know them, so I asked her why is she calling them 8 nucators. Granny look at me and shakes her head. She then asked me, "What is 2 times 4? I say 8, and I look at she. She paused and she says, since they're in the church, she ain't want to talk up the people. But since I done see, she go break it down for me. She then let me know that a 8 nucator is 2 fornicators. It was then I had to laugh. I said, "Granny, them people married." She then says she not care, for it is not right to treat the church like the bedroom. Then she walk in and makes her way to the front pew. Well, believe it or not, things were going well until it was welcome time. They asked all the visitors to stand. Well, you know me, I is a man with a kind of low profile, but not Granny. She stand up first and almost joke out somebody eye with she hat. She then look at me, and before she could say a word, I get up because I want no scene in the people church. Well, there were about 40 visitors in the church that day. But if there's one person they go remember, it's Granny. When they asked Granny she says she name is Vincenta Wanoman. And how everyone in the community knows she as Granny. She went on to say that she just lived down the road. And how she happened to come to church is a nice story. It was a day Sister Mavis had diarrhea and had to stop by the house, and that is how she got invited. She further went on to say for 3 minutes explaining how Sister Mavis used out all she toilet paper, and it was I who had to go next door to help she out. Well, Mavis at this time looking real embarrassed. And I just saying in my mind, it's good for you. You should have never invited the lady. Well, it cooled on a bit. And you know, every church does take up a little offering, right? So I was kind of surprised when Granny started to argue again. She started saying it's the first time she come there, and they kind of beggy, you know, asking she for money. But she says she have a little pittance, and if she giving she little pittance, it ever be to any of them thief and deacon who coming with the plate, is the pastor self had to come and get it. Well, I kind of encouraged she, and she put it in the deacon plate. Things going well, it was music, used to go, but then, goodness, it was sermon time. The pastor started to talk about the commandments, and you should have hear Granny shouting amen and yes, minister, tell them they should know better, tell them. But after a while, he started to talk about gossip and backbiting and how the master do like them thing. Is at that point Granny get up. She get up vexed, and she say it ain't proper to invite people to church and talk about them. The lady get up and say, let we go. And she go tell me she can't believe that I sit down just like that and let people talk me like that. At the top of the voice, she call the minister a fraud and a hypocrite. And she tell the deacons to take their hands off she before she sue all of them. It took about 5 minutes to cool the lady down. But in the end, she get up and said the whole church had bad manners and she ain't coming back there again. In my mind, I say, you know what? I really think they're mine, you know. I tell you, this will be one Easter service that everyone will remember. All because of Mavis' diarrhea.